She wasn't supposed to be there that night. Admiral Serena Cole, one of the most feared and respected leaders in the entire Pacific Fleet, had returned to base long after midnight, exhausted, grieving, and determined to keep her personal collapse hidden. But when she opened the door to the silent Navy gym, she froze. There, under the lone flickering light, was the janitor, quiet, exhausted, a single dad most sailors never noticed, moving with the precision, pain, and discipline of someone who didn't belong in the shadows at all. And when the Admiral saw what he was doing, her breath left her chest. What she witnessed would unravel secrets, heal wounds she thought would never close, and change the Navy forever. Admiral Serena Cole wasn't used to silence. Her life was noise, radios, orders, aircraft thrashing across the sky, the distant tremble of ships cutting through black waters. But tonight, as she walked through the dim hallway of the base's training center, all she could hear was her own breathing. It had been 3 months since she lost her younger brother, Petty Officer Marcus Cole, during a rescue operation gone wrong. She carried the guilt like an anchor tied around her ribs. Everyone told her it wasn't her fault. But every night when she closed her eyes, she heard Marcus's voice, his last words, calling for help she never managed to send. She pushed open the door to the Navy gym, expecting it to be empty. Instead, she stopped in the doorway, eyebrows lifting as she saw a lone figure sweeping the floor. He wore a faded navy blue janitor uniform and old running shoes patched at the sides. His shoulders were broad, his posture humble, and though he kept his cap low, she could see the exhaustion in his jawline. She recognized him vaguely. Elias Ward. The single dad who worked nights because he had no one else to watch his daughter. Always quiet, always polite, always overlooked. She almost turned to leave, until she noticed something strange. The broom slid from his hands. He walked to the corner of the gym and picked up something small, a worn-out medal on a thin chain. He held it to his forehead, eyes closed as if offering a silent prayer. Then, as though someone inside him switched on a forgotten light, he moved to the combat mat. The Admiral narrowed her eyes. What was he doing? Elias dropped into a stance so clean, so disciplined, so perfectly controlled that Serena felt her pulse skip. This wasn't a janitor stretching. This was a soldier training. He flowed into maneuvers she hadn't seen since her days working with advanced specialized units, close-quarters patterns used only by elite rescue operators. His body cut through the air like a blade, each strike precise, each movement a memory of a life he clearly didn't want anyone to know about. Serena stepped deeper into the gym without realizing it. But then everything changed. Elias stopped suddenly, clutching his side. A harsh cough tore from his lungs as he dropped to one knee. He wasn't just exhausted. He was in pain, old pain. Deep pain. The kind that never healed right. Serena's instincts snapped into place. She approached him. He didn't notice until her shadow fell over him. He jerked up, startled. Admiral, ma'am, I'm sorry. This is after hours. I didn't think anyone. What were you doing? She asked softly. His jaw locked. Cleaning, ma'am? No, she said. Before that. He swallowed. His eyes darted to the medal in his hand. Nothing important. But she knew a lie when she heard one. And he knew she knew. Behind him, the medal glinted beneath the gym lights. A Navy cross. A medal no janitor should casually possess. What's your story, Ward? She whispered. But the look in his eyes told her the truth. He wasn't hiding because he was ashamed. He was hiding to protect someone. And that someone had nothing to do with him. Elias didn't want to talk. Serena could see it in the way he shifted his weight, the way his fingers curled protectively around the medal, the way he avoided her eyes. She recognized that reaction, because she'd worn it herself for months. The look of someone carrying a story too heavy to speak aloud. You're hurt, Serena said gently. I'm fine, he replied, though his trembling arm said otherwise. No, you're not, she said. And you don't move like a janitor. You move like someone trained for missions that aren't on record. His eyes flickered with something between fear and resignation. Then he sighed. I used to serve, he said quietly. Long before the Navy hired me to empty trash cans and mop floors. Serena waited. I was part of an extraction unit, he continued. We pulled civilians and downed sailors out of conflict zones. High-risk missions. He paused. The kind your brother used to volunteer for. Serena's chest tightened. He knew Marcus. Before she could speak, he continued. I left the field after my wife died, he said. My daughter was 3. She stopped talking for almost a year. I couldn't deploy anymore. Couldn't be gone. Couldn't risk leaving her alone. His voice cracked slightly. So I stepped down. Took any job that let me stay near her. Cleaning, maintenance, whatever paid enough for daycare. Serena felt a lump rise in her throat. For the first time in months, someone else's grief touched her own. But why hide your training? She asked. Because the moment people find out who I used to be, he said, they stop seeing me as a father trying to raise his daughter, and start seeing me as a weapon. He looked up, eyes steady. I'm not that man anymore, Admiral. Serena understood. Too well. Silence stretched between them until the gym door creaked open, and a small voice echoed across the room. Daddy? A tiny girl stood there in pajamas, clutching a stuffed dolphin. Tears streaked her cheeks. She must have woken up and gone searching for him. Elias rushed to her instantly, lifting her into his arms. I'm here, Peanut. Daddy's here. Serena watched them quietly. The way the child buried her face into his neck. The way Elias held her like she was the only thing keeping him standing upright. And something inside Serena softened, a part of her she thought had died with Marcus. You're not a weapon, Ward, she said, her voice steady. But you might be exactly what this base needs. He looked at her, confused. Starting tomorrow, she continued, you're not working nights. You're not sweeping floors. You're coming with me. Training division. I need instructors with real-world rescue experience. Elias blinked. Hard. Admiral. I haven't taught in years. Good, she said. That means you're overdue. He didn't answer right away. He looked at his daughter, still crying quietly against his shoulder, and Serena could see the battle in his eyes. Fear. Hope. Doubt. Need. And beneath all of it, light. He finally nodded. I'll do it. Serena felt something shift inside her, something she hadn't felt since before Marcus died. Purpose. Maybe healing didn't begin by fixing yourself. Maybe it began by helping someone else rise. Little did she know, the decision she made that night would change more than his life. It would save hers.